everybody, my name is Starrapter and it's June, so if you're a gamer, it's a big deal because that means E3 is right around the corner, so I thought it'd be fun to break down my 5 top predictions for what might be revealed at E3 2019. So in no particular order, I first want to talk about Microsoft. And I think they are going to have arguably the biggest year ever. I think they might go ahead and announce the next generation of Xbox, codename Scarlet. And I think this is the greatest time for them to do that because Sony is actually pulled out of E3 completely this year. They are not having a presence, not having a press conference at all. So that gives Microsoft even a bigger stage to kind of make their announcement. Now, I don't think they're going to give away all the details and the release date or anything, but I think they're going to talk a lot about maybe the roundabout release date. I don't think they're going to give a price, but they might announce like the launch titles in a way like, okay, Halo Infinite, that's so far out, we can assume that's going to be a next generation title. If they go ahead and announce a Fable, which I really hope for, that would also be perhaps another launch title. They have 14 studios that they have built from the ground up with all these amazing artists and developers, and they are all the first party studios that are going to be working on these incredible games going into the next generation. So Sony beat out Microsoft, I think it's pretty safe to say, in this current generation. Microsoft didn't really start off in the best foot with promoting their Xbox One, kind of leaning more on the entertainment approach rather than the gaming approach, and Sony really leaned heavy into the gaming approach and even had a lesser price point. So I think now, especially with the new leadership with Phil Spencer, he really understands the gamers, the hardcore gamers, and he knows how to promote this product. So I really hope that we see some sort of new reveal of what's going to happen to really drum up the hype until they have their own press event. Moving on to more hardware, this time with Nintendo, I think they're going to reveal a redesigned Switch. Now, it's not going to be like an updated, like plays better looking games, but I think what you're going to see is better battery life, maybe more compact kind of design, maybe a better LCD for more clarity that's, you know, more like 1080p rather than 720. You know, Nintendo's always reiterating about improving their products. Just look at all their handheld 3DS, 2DS, all those kind of things. They always want to push their hardware or their design of their hardware to make it more user friendly and easier entry point, things like that. Moving into games for my next prediction, I want to talk about Splinter Cell being revealed at Ubisoft. Ubisoft has been kind of teasing this product for a while. I mean, we did have Sam Fisher, Splinter Cell himself, appearing in a Ghost Recon Wildlands DLC a while back, and recently there was a tweet from one of the developers that claims he's working on Splinter Cell, and then Ubisoft came out right away and said, no, he's just joking, or that wasn't true. So I don't know how much you want to look into that, but I feel like that's kind of evident, especially since Ubisoft did say, I think they are announcing about 3 new titles that haven't been talked about at all. So that's a lot of new games for, franchises that we already know exist. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we might get another Splinter Cell. Finally, it's been one of my favorite games growing up. I used to play Splinter Cell on GameCube all the time, so definitely hoping for that to happen. Another game reveal that I'm really hoping could happen is what is happening with Rocksteady. And the last game that they put out was technically Batman VR, and before that was Arkham Knight. These guys are just world-renowned for creating great adventure games centered around the Dark Knight, so maybe we might get like a Justice League type of game, especially now that Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics are creating this Avengers game, which is also going to be at E3. I think it'd be really cool to actually have like a counterpart of like a DC type game going head-to-head, maybe not released in the same year, but having more expansive. Can you imagine like Rocksteady having this game where you could switch between like Green Arrow and Superman and Wonder Woman and all these fantastic characters, and they are really overdue, and it's been very quiet on their front, so they must have been working on something very hard, so hopefully that happens. And my last prediction for E3 2019 is that the PS4, the Xbox One, Switch, and PC will all finally have cross-play. Now, that has kind of been one of the biggest developments in gaming in the last year. Is we want to play with our friends that are playing on different platforms. We want to have this as wide open and having as much flexibility with playing between consoles. And they have been making strides in a way towards that. I mean, you look at games like Rocket League, and that was open to PC, PS4, Xbox One. I think at one point Fortnite had like crossplay turned on for like a day or something. So we know it's there. We know the option is there for the developers to just, pretty much click a button perhaps and turn it on. It's just, it seems like especially PS4 and Sony is the one that is very hesitant, because we already know that, you know, Xbox One and Nintendo are kind of working with Game Pass together, so I'm sure that they would be okay with the crossplay. But there's been a very recent development where PS4 or Sony has gone to Microsoft and asked about their kind of networking cloud-based service, especially now that we have the Google Stadia and other, you know, different things like with the Apple, what they're doing with gaming. So it almost looks like PS4 and Xbox are kind of, you know, getting together with this cloud-based service, so maybe that's already steps in the right direction toward crossplay. Plus, at the Game Awards of 2018, we did see that all the studio heads or the leaders of each platform, the Switch, we have the PS4 and the Xbox, everybody got together on the stage at once, and I almost thought that they were going to announce crossplay finally right there. So at least these people are seeming to talk, so that's a very good indicator that things might happen finally, so I'm really crossing my fingers for that one. So what are your guys' predictions for E3 2019? I'd love to talk about them all in the comment section below. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I talk about video games quite often, plus I talk a lot about Star Wars, movies, and other things, so make sure if that sounds cool to you, you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It really does help support me. That's gonna do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.